Hey, Brett here. Okay, episode 17, Paradox Diaries. You gonna hang out, Chess? Okay. There you go. You have fun with that, buddy. All right. So, actually, I've got some interesting new learning about the value of shaking from a health perspective. So, let's go ahead and get into position and I'll talk through what I've just learned. So, feet parallel, knees slightly bent. I'm going to go ahead and open up my hip flexors a little bit. You can do that by sort of either actively pushing your sacrum down, actively, or maybe relaxing. Now, if your hip flexors are tight, the relaxing might come later. It's fine. But what that does is you actually start to engage your hips. And in doing that, you're going to be bouncing using your tendons and ligaments a little bit better. It's optional, but it feels good. All right. So there is a procedure called, I've got my notes here. I need to see them. LVA, lymphovenous anastomosis. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it's basically plumbing. So it's a regular procedure for cleaning out the lymph system, and effectively, I think it reroutes, basically replumbs things so that things can clear. And they've recently done some studies that show that it has promise for cleaning out neurotoxins from the brain, your brain, and it basically clears out one of the important ones. What is it called? Amyloid beta, and that's the one that's notoriously present for Alzheimer's. So why does shaking do this? Okay, so first of all, not the same thing at all. One is a medical procedure, but this is a regular maintenance now. So let's talk through a couple of things about why this has an effect that helps basically clear out the neurotoxins in your brain. First and foremost, I find personally that 10 minutes of this, I sleep better. So, done. You don't need to hear anything else. If you get better sleep, everything else is so much easier. And I mean that generally from personal experience, 20 years of insomnia. 20 years of working up to 4 Benadryls a night, and I don't need it anymore. I've managed to. Now, this wasn't this, but this helps it quite a bit. So, sleep. Second thing, tends to help with parasympathetic dominance. Great. So parasympathetic dominance is going to calm your system down, turn down the signals in your body, and that's going to let the body heal or restore or store, right? Now, that alone is going to be useful. But then if you add in things like neck isometrics, so I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to continue back on this. So the neck isometrics, same feet, same knees, hip actively pushing your sacrum down, pushing your fontanelle up, and then pushing your right hand into your right side, left hand into your left side, front, back, and top pushing up. If you do that, you're going to strengthen your neck, and also you're going to probably increase blood flow at that moment and over time. And so you're basically doing things that are going to encourage your system to clean up. So this is actively cleaning your system, and then you add a little bit of neck work, very gentle neck work over time. And for me, this is maintenance. If I don't do this kind of stuff, my neck will start to hurt and I'll start to get migraines. Maybe not, but I mean, I used to get them all the time. And same thing with my back. So I can stop doing this at my own peril, but I don't mind doing it and I sleep better. So if you want to reduce your chance of Alzheimer's and you want to have, I don't know, better sleep, better blood flow everywhere, and yes, there, et cetera, do this. You know, you don't have to do it all the time. You don't have to do it 10 minutes. You could do it a little bit here, a little bit there. I find 10 minutes is works for me, but you know, you might find that you do a minute here, a minute there, just sort of whatever. It's going to help. And if you're not doing it, doing a little bit's going to help. And then once you start doing it, you might find that, for example, you loosen yourself up, your joints are feeling a little bit better, maybe a little bit less inflammation. Maybe you're just overall less stiff. That's my experience. Let's see how long it's been. Oh, not very long at all. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do the neck isometrics along those lines. Since I mentioned them already, I'll actually do them. So I'm going to do these for 30 seconds per side, and then I'm going to do the last one a little bit longer. All right, so I'll do it from the side here. My feet about hip width apart. They could be a little bit wider, just balanced. Okay, that's the important thing. Knees slightly bent. All right, now if you can, you're going to start by relaxing your sacrum. You'll hopefully feel some weight in your heels. If you really can relax your sacrum and open up your hip flexors, which if you stretch your hip flexors, you can actually do that. For me, it generally feels like the arches of my feet open wider. So it almost feels like my foot's getting wider in addition to additional heel pressure. Push the fontanelle up. And then from here, I'm going to actively push my shoulders down, which is weird because I'm going to actively push both shoulders down, but then I might let the left shoulder go because I want the left side to be pretty relaxed. The more relaxed, generally, the deeper the stretch or the engagement. Now, what I'm doing, I can feel this all the way down my mid-back on the left side. I'm engaging quite a few muscles, and now I'm actively pushing my sacrum into my heels, pushing my fontanelle up and pushing my shoulders down. And in doing that, I'm getting a lot of my core engaged throughout my torso. And then as soon as I stop, I'm going to really quickly release. And in doing that, I'm going to have a rebound that will tend to give me a little bit more relax. So basically, it's squeeze a little bit, let go. It's PNF, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, and you're training, you're tricking your nervous system a little bit. No big deal, just PNF. Squeeze, hold, release. Okay. Feet parallel, knees bent. Push my sacrum down, push my fontanelle up. Left side, and here I go. All right. Now for front and back, use both hands if you can. You don't want to do this asymmetrically because you don't want to, if I push on one side, I'm going to end up strengthening asymmetrical. You want to do this as balanced as you can. So front and back, hands interlaced. If you really want to be particular, maybe one time the right pinky is on the bottom, the next time the left pinky is on the bottom. And if you have never tried that, I've been doing this for years, it still feels weird. So, old habits die hard. So here we go. Fingers together. The feet are the same. The whole body is the same. But now it's a little bit easier because I'm pushing my shoulders down and then I'm actually trying to actively open my hip flexors up. So really what I'm doing with my pelvis here, I'm doing this. The sacrum's going down and I'm opening up my hip flexors and then I'm extending my spine. That's a little exaggerated, but that's kind of what I'm doing. And I guess since I'm here, actually I'll just count this one out. Okay, and here we go. So I was getting my transverse abdominals there. Just getting all the way to over here on that. That was really good. That's I don't normally get quite that good of a stretch on the front side. So that's a good sign for this one. Here we go. Okay, again, feet parallel, knees bent. I'm going to actively push my sacrum down and try to actually open my hips. And by the way, I haven't been saying this, but I'm also believe it or not, you can externally rotate your thighs while keeping your feet in place. All right. It's actually the same thing when you do this with your arm. That's what I'm doing. Notice the crease of the arm. In fact, I'm going to come a little bit closer. Right there. And actually, that's active. That's not active. So when you externally rotate like that with your hand on the ground, you're going to engage your shoulder. If you internally or medially, if you keep the hand in place but medially or internally rotate, you're going to sort of relax into it. So here we go. A little bit further back, chest. Okay. Feet parallel, knees bent, opening up your hips. So I'm pushing my sacrum down, externally rotating my thighs, opening my hip flexors, pushing my fontanelle up. Hands interlaced. This time I will reverse the pinkies. Oh, it feels so weird. And I haven't mentioned this yet. I'll go ahead and count this one out. Actually, I'm just going to talk through this a little bit. When you're dealing with your joints, especially your neck, I'm not getting any pressure on my neck at all. Now, if I feel anything at all, I'm either going to come out or I'm just going to make slight adjustments. But I'm on the back of my head, hands interlaced. I'm pushing my head into my hands, but I'm not feeling it into my neck because I'm right at the bulge in the back. Pushing my shoulders down, lifting my hip flexors up. I have not been keeping track of time. Hasn't been that long. Let's see, here we go. Okay, at this point, I can feel my entire front, my pecs, my back. So I've got my entire torso engaged right now, and I'm not really doing much. It doesn't look like it, but I can absolutely feel heat coming off my arms. I'm gonna let go. Whoa. Yeah, it doesn't really look like much, but it's a lot. Now the last one, I'm pushing up, hands below. For this one, when you interlace your hands, you want to get on the back third. So if you look at the peak of your ears, they come together at the top. It's called the fontanelle. It's a soft spot on a baby's head. That's where you want to be centered over. So now on this one, especially since you're pushing up, you want to be careful. Like right there, I'm pulling my shoulders down and pushing my head up. I'm going to get the stance in a second. But already, just right there, I can feel that all the way down here just by doing that. So when I add in the feet and the hips, and by the way, I'm doing the full expression of this thing. If you are sitting at a desk and you simply do this on the right, left, front, back, 30 seconds, you're going to get a lot of value out of that. It's going to give you quick release. So don't think you have to do the full expression. Anything is better than nothing, right? That's the thing. Just do a little bit. And the more you do it, the more your body will get used to doing it. It took me a couple weeks before I could even get sort of my sides engaged. And the more I do this, the more I'm able to get my whole core engaged. So over time, I'm getting better integration with my body as I stretch it, as I shake it, loosen it up, and engage it. Shake it, loosen it up, engage it, etc., etc. So, feet parallel, knees bent. I'm going to push my sacrum down, open my hip flexors, externally rotate my thighs. My hands are entwined. I'm going to push up. Okay, I've got that in a nice position. I'm not feeling anything in my neck. So now I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit harder. And here we go. I had no idea how long that was. Was not keeping track of time, so it probably wasn't that long. All right. So now, back to shaking for a little bit. going to integrate that. Now, I'm going to do a forward fold in just a second, since I just compressed my spine. Actually, you know what? Okay, I'm just going to say, I was thinking I was going to shake a little bit and then do a forward fold, but my neck is sort of speaking to me and saying, you know what? No. So I'm just going to do a quick forward fold to allow my spine to decompress a little bit. In fact, actually, I don't do this very often, so here. This should accomplish something similar. I'll just go ahead and go inverted for a second. But a forward fold is absolutely fine. Oops. Okay. Okay, so now, there we go. Doesn't feel good on my shoulders. There. Hello, kitty. Now, if you're not able to do inverted poses, blood pressure, dizziness, whatever, you could lay in your back, lay flat on your back, and just allow your spine to relax. Or even better yet, lay it flat on your back, and then get your legs at 45 degrees with your feet on the ground, and then push your sacrum towards your heel gently. So do the same thing we're doing in a standing position. Extend your spine a little bit that way, and then lay down. You know, you're in a good position for me to fall on top of you. No, don't worry, I got you. Actually, I wonder. There we go. I can finally do crow. Hey, wait, can I do side crow? Kind of, not really. I better stop fooling around. All right. A little more shaking now. So at this point, even though I haven't, I mean, I've shook enough, and I've done enough of the isometric stuff with a quick release that I can tell my body's quite a bit more relaxed. It's not as deep as it would have been had I gone for 10 minutes, but I think if I keep shaking a little bit longer, I'll get to that point. And it has to do with my chest is generally pretty relaxed. There's still a little bit down here that hasn't quite sort of given up. So if I can get up, all that stuff sort of just let go. As my Sufi says, you want to release that foolish tension. So holding those muscles, you're doing it all the time. You don't realize it. So this will help reduce that resting tension in your body. And when you do that, pardon me, it allows your body to relax and start conserving and storing. And given the busy lives of many people, we are way out of balance, and that's what we need more than anything else. And that's all my practice. I don't do very much yang stuff at all. Nothing wrong with it. If you love doing it, do what you love. Just do it in a way that you're not injuring yourself, and then find ways to keep yourself balanced. So for example, if you're doing something asymmetrical like a racket sport, stretch. And then when you stretch, make sure you stretch a little bit on one side and then a little bit more on the other side. And you'll know which side you need to stretch more. And so when I do my long stretching, my deep flexibility, 2 to 5 minutes. So if I were to do some kind of, like if I were to play racket sport, something like squash or something like that, I would then stretch that side, say, for 4 minutes and the other side for 3 minutes, as an example. And if you do that over time, what you would find is you're never going to be balanced, but you're going to be more balanced. And the more balanced you are, the better your posture is going to be, the less you're going to fall. Also, the better your neuroplasticity, the better your interoception and proprioception, yada, yada, lots of long words. Actually, the more you shake, the more you're able to say things like, I don't know. I love it when that happens. Oh, lymphovenous anastomosis. How's that say? How's that sound? Oh my gosh. I was going to say proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, but I really deserve that. That's hilarious. Ah. All right. So for tonight, it's getting pretty late again. I am going to, what do you think, Josh? Let's see, hips, no. Shoulder, I did that last night. Yeah, it's always a good thing to do the hips. All right. How do I want to do this? Okay, I'm going to try doing the splits again, but I'm going to use this instead of the other chair. I think I can make that work. Okay. So once again, I'm going to have a pillow for my knee. I'm basically doing the front splits, but I've got a problem with my heel, and so I don't want to put pressure on it because it just makes it worse. But I can do this. I can get the split. I need to work in the groin more than anywhere else, and this allows me to do probably 90% of the equivalent of a front split and no pressure on my heel. So that's why I'm doing it. Haven't tried this chair with this, so we'll see how that works out. Okay, so I have to be asymmetrical. That's totally fine. Okay, so let's see. That's good. Oh, wow. See, oh, yikes, that man, I just cramped my toe. That's weird. That means I'm getting, that means I'm definitely getting the entire ligaments and torsos, everything. What am I, lower ligaments and torso? Oh my gosh, I'm tired. I'm gonna do this for 4 minutes. Here we go. Actually, so right now, what I'm feeling is the muscle fibers relaxing and letting go, which is great. You start to feel this, but I'm feeling it much quicker because I shook. And this is a consistent thing. I do not normally feel this for closer to 60 seconds to 90 seconds, depending if I start without shaking. Your results may vary, but that's my experience on a regular basis. Oh, man. This is a bit crazy intense. I wonder, can I reach that block without getting myself out of this pose? Good. I managed to maintain the pose there. I'm going to do this. There we go. I have no idea what this looks like on the camera, but this feels like an amazingly good stretch. Next, I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to put this down here. There. Ah, that's better. It's actually taking me out of the pose. Come on, back up there. There we go. My torso is now giving a little more weight into my groin by coming back a little bit. Oh, man. Okay. Ha ha ha. I'm glad I did not want to do that. I did not try that for 5 minutes because, that was excellent. But I don't need any more than that. My right hip flexor is actually in that state of really turned down. So, and again, to me, I can tell it's a little bit different than numbness, but it's subtle. But there, it's fine now. Wow, that was intense. That was really good. And also, again, my hips relaxed a lot quicker because I started with shaking. Same thing, other side. And by the way, again, I can assure you that for what I need to work on in the front splits, that absolutely did it, and it doesn't bother my heel at all. So this allows me to continue making progress with something that I've never actually really tried to do, but why not do it? I don't need these at all. Okay, other side. Got to be careful here because my hip flexor is a little bit tender. There. All right. Okay, let's get things situated here first. I don't need that. Come over just a touch. Okay, right there. Wow. That's hitting in a very different place, but it's where I needed to hit. So now if you notice, my right knee is bent a little bit. You're still getting a stretch. In fact, when you have your knee bent a little bit, it tends to move the stretch into the middle of the muscle belly. So this is entirely fine. Now, here, just let me do that there. And again, about 10 seconds ago, I can feel the muscle fibers starting to relax. And my groin is opening up. And come back just a touch, though. There. That's better. I was cutting off, or about to start cutting off circulation the way I was hitting the edge of the chair with my muscle, so I had to move it a little bit. Wow. It's one of those situations where, there's that knee thing again. Okay, that's really tight. Okay, so I'm going to see. But I touched it. I wasn't feeling it until I touched it. So let's see. I've got to see if I've got to do something about that. A couple nights ago, I noticed something on the outside of my knee. And there, I felt it by accidentally brushing against it. But I mean, I don't feel anything at all. Okay. I'll keep monitoring it, but that feels okay. Okay, that did it there. Okay, I need to make sure I'm centered over my leg. If I'm rolled out at all, that's when I start to feel that. Okay, so that's good to know. So I'll do this. That gets me rolled in. So I've got to be careful with what's called lateral or external rotation when I'm doing this kind of stretch here, which isn't really a surprise because of the way all those connective tissues flow across the side there. Holy, oh my God. Oh. So every so often, and I think this is one of those times, you get a huge release, like just something. There's no, this in this case, this is just a physical tightness. As far as I can tell, it's not like an issue in my tissue, but right now, something's going on that's releasing, and there is no way in heck I'm going to stop that. So this is one of those cases where I'm going to choose a little bit of asymmetry because the moment is serendipitous. And also, as it turns out, my right side is also my tighter side. And as of right now, I'm not so sure that's the case anymore. My left hip flexor is stretching. And I can't even imagine what it's doing right now. The feeling is crazy. Okay, I'm going to come out of that. I think that's enough. Okay. And we have to look at that one to see what happened there, because that is insane what I just got for release. So I've been having this point in both my hip flexors, and it's just pain. Now, it's not like a lot of pain, but it was just something I just was unwilling to go past. And tonight, I said, the heck with it. I'm just going to see what happens if I stick with it for a little bit longer. It took about 20 seconds longer than I normally would go. I mean, it felt longer than that. But as a result of that, I got past something in both of my hip flexors. And again, so both sides felt like the nervous system got really turned down. Again, not numbness, and there's no tingling. And it's soon as here's the difference. Numbness tends to come back slowly, and numbness tends to often be associated with tingles. In this case, it really is just like it's almost back. So it's almost like well, I guess it's I've got a signal system, and it turns down for a second, then it rebounds quickly. And if it didn't rebound quickly, well, okay, it necessarily rebounds quickly because of the sympathetic dominance. So, and that's a survival bias. So, I would think that maybe I'm guessing here, the difference between numbness is maybe I've compressed the nerve and it takes a while to wake up. Whereas in this case, I actually really have convinced the nervous system to attenuate its signaling, or to listen to, or to wait till more happens. And in doing that, it's calming it down. But because we have a faster response, sympathetic, it's able to turn back on. That's my guess. Seems logical, but your results may vary. Some assembly required. Okay, I'm going to call it a night because it really is getting late, but I did want to do a little bit of stretching, and that was definitely an excellent 8 minutes of stretching. Okay, a little bit of shaking to integrate that. And given I did neck isometrics, I'm going to go ahead and do just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do this first. I'm going to do 2 different twisting things. 3. Thing 1, feet hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider in my case. Knees bent. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of open up my hip flexors here, and I'm going to turn my waists and hips side to side. Just let your arms flop. In fact, I'll stop. So that's what you're looking for, just floppy arms, noodly arms. Now, if you want, what you can do is you can hit just below your belly button and opposite. On the back, opposite. So 2 fingers below your belly button and about 1/3 of the way is your reproductive organs and also your lower dantian. So your center of gravity, your elixir of gold, your field of gold. But it's your body center of gravity. On the back, the opposite is the gate of life. When your gate of life gets tight, you start to walk like this and need a walker. So this is a good thing to do. Just sort of lightly tap it. You're stimulating it. When you stimulate it, you're encouraging blood flow. So, all right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my arms up as so, like in the field goal post. Same thing. I'm going to really try to keep the outside of my edges of my feet on the ground so I don't twist my knees too much. And I'm just going to turn my entire torso and shoulders side to side, and I'm going to turn my head at first. Now, if you get dizzy, stop turning your head. That's fine. And in fact, stop turning your head now. Keep your legs in place, and then move your torso and shoulders together, but keep your head pointing forward. Now, what you're doing is you're holding your spine in 2 places, at the top and the bottom, and now you're twisting your entire spine by holding 2 points in place. And last night I talked about this in the wall, the pose against the wall where you're opening up your hip flexor. All right, now let's make this a little more interesting. So keep the shoulders in place, just move your hip and waist side to side. Do that a couple times. Keep your head forward, looking forward. Okay, now, next thing, shoulders, keep the hip and waist in place. Continue looking forward. Okay, now here we go. This is the big twist. We're going to twist the waist and hips opposite the shoulder while looking forward. So we've got a lot going on here. Thing one, I've got my head and my waist, or my guess, yeah. Honestly, I've got my taint or my perineum as a holding point. And then we're twisting the spine in 2 different directions. So if you think about it, if you're doing the dishes and you got a wet rag, if you twist it opposite, which is what we're doing with our spine, we're twisting it in 2 different directions. What you're going to get is a better ringing of the spine. So do that gently. You're stimulating your spine. You stimulate spine, stimulating blood flow. It's going to help. We're just basically clearing out a lymphatic system as well as the same thing in the brain. So very gentle work. You can do it throughout the day. Actually, if you're feeling a little bit stressed, a couple minutes of shaking can really do a lot. But if you don't have the chance to do that, 5 breaths a minute. So in and out. So in and really extend your diaphragm. Let your belly come open. When you do that, you're going to stimulate your vagus nerve, which is the sign for you to calm down. And so really helpful. Have a good night.